The last section of this chapter is about the applications of inequalities. Right. First, we need to translating the verbal statements to the mathematical equations. So these are the things that these are the statements. These are the statements that we need to take note. Right. If A is at most 3, right, it means that the maximum is 3. So we have x is less than or equals to 3. If the statement is about x is no more than 3, so since no more than 3, then it will be, all right, the maximum is 3, right? So we have the same equation, inequalities, x is lesser equals to 3 because it's not more than 3. Now, if the x is at least 3, so 3 is the smallest, so we have x is greater or equals to 3. Now, if the x is no less than 3, all right, so that means that, all right, the 3 is the minimum. It should not less, the x should not less than 3. So we have x is more than or equals to 3 as well. Now, if the x is more than 3, right, means that we cannot take 3 for x. So we have x is more than 3. And if the x is less than 3, we have this, x is less than 3. Now, if x is a minimum of 3, so since the 3 is minimum, it is inclusive, so we have x is greater or equals to 3. Now, if x is at least 2 but less than 7, now the at least here means that the 2 is included. Less than 7 means that 7 is excluded. So we have x is greater or equals to 2, all right, and x is lesser than 7. Now, if x is greater than 2, right, so it means that 2 is not included, right, because it's greater than 2, but no more than 7, right, so 7 is included, we cannot more than 7, so we have x is greater than 2, and it's lesser or equals to 7. Right, so these are the verbal statements that we need to pay attention to. Now let's consider this example, this application. An overnight delivery service will not accept any package whose combined length and minimum girth parameter of a cross-section exceeds 132 inches. You are sending a rectangular package that has square cross-section. The length of the package is 68 inches. What is the maximum width of the side of its square cross-sections? Right now, so let's try to understand these questions. Right, so first thing, right, the combined length and the minimum girth, right, the perimeter of the cross-section, right, should not exceed 132 inches. Okay, so we have these inequalities, the length plus the girth less than equals to 132 cm. Now we already know that according to the questions, now the length is 68 inches, so the length is 68 inches. Now we do not know, right, this length is 68 inches, we do not know the width of the side. Alright, so we are going to put it as x. So since the question says that it's a square, alright, square cross-section, so we know that this is actually the square. Alright, so this will be x and this will be x as well. Alright, so what is the girth? The girth is actually the perimeter of this, right? The perimeter of the cross-section. So it will be x plus x plus x plus x, so it's 4x. Now, after we get the girth, right, we are going to combine this into, and with the 68 into the inequalities, the length is 68, so we have 68 here, plus the girth, which is 4x, and it should less than or equals to 132 inches. Now, to find the maximum width of the sides, so we are looking for the x. So to solve for the x, so we have 132 minus 68, we get 64. So 4x should less than or equals to 64, and the x should less than or equals to 16 inches. Alright, so the width of each side of the package must be less than or equals to 16 inches. Right, so this is how we actually apply the inequalities in the real life.